Last time on Total Party Guild.
Also, he looked really old, so if we didn't kill him, time's not that far behind us.
Dude, he's a druid.
What does that mean?
He'll just up and turn into a tree when he's bored. And he'll just last forever. I don't know.
Fuck. Is that a thing, guys? Is that a thing? Marin's pulling my chain.
I've heard the same thing.
Well, salt my sandwich.
Welcome, adventurers, to Total Party Guild, your weekly retro wave-inspired D&D live play podcast. Tonight, we'll be joined by
Vanessa Otero playing Jewel Von Onyx, human bard.
Talon Rowe playing Marin, the drow monk.
Jeremy Blackheart playing Graham Orai, a half-elf hexadon.
And Justin Lamb playing Stenel Bjornsson, the halfling barbarian.
And I'm Sean Rowe, and I will be your DM for this story arc. Last time on Total Party Guild, our party had survived a battle with a massive war machine inside the sawmill of Timatone. After defeating it, everything was lit on fire, and they had to run away quickly as it exploded into a giant ball of green flame that lit up the night. Afterwards, our party decided to go back to Timatone Village and talk to the village elders and the remaining hobgoblins there. They made the hobgoblins, in a surprising twist, agree to come back and rebuild the sawmill, as it was the main source of income for the village. And after doing a little bit of snooping around, they discovered inside the old druid's hut a small package that had some information about how the war machine was built. Afterwards, the party decided they were going to go ahead and stay inside Timatone Village for another day or so in order to help heal the remaining villagers that were there. As the night settled in and the party members slept through the evening time and they wake up refreshed the next day, party, what do you wish to do?
Yeah, what are the hobgoblins doing this whole time?
They left.
Did they help rebuild some before they took off, or they just took off?
No, they grabbed those guys and took off. They haven't returned yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can point them towards the sawmill.
Well, yeah. Did we leave the gates open in case the villagers return?
Might as well.
That's up to you guys. Did you leave the gates open?
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, the threat's passed, and we want them to feel welcome home.
Yeah. Okay.
We're probably staying in someone's house, but yeah, it's all good.
So we wake up the next morning, and I would assume that's a long rest, so we can recover half of our hit dice and stuff.
Yep, that's a long rest. You recover half your hit dice, all your hit points, and all your cool, nifty abilities.
Spell points and stuff.
Spell points.
Okay.
I would like to offer the potion of radiant resistance to Marin, since you almost died last time.
Thank you, Stenel.
And when I'm raging, I'm already resistant to all the things.
Except psychic damage. I tap my head. But you're a halfling.
It hurts in my head.
So don't halflings have psychic damage resistance or something? Or is that gnomes?
No.
That
might be gnomes.
Kalishtar, I think, or Eladrin, or something like that.
I think gnomes might too.
Gnomes get advantage on mental saves for spells.
Okay. So, should we try to lay on hands one of these guys?
Yeah. Is there somebody that looks a little wiser, older?
Try the mayor. Or who we assume is the mayor.
What if this kills
there's
him?
an older
Do we want
guy
to kill the mayor?
There's an older guy, a little bit more well-dressed than the rest of the villagers here, and that's the guy you've been calling the mayor.
It's going to end up not being the mayor. That's going to be hilarious.
Okay.
I think.
I just sit him down and put my right hand on his right shoulder facing him and use 5 points to lay on hands.
The magic flows through him, and you can see it like rippling in white, and it pulses down his body. And as it does, you see that gray fungus grow grayer on the back of his neck, and then just kind of like peel off and fall to the floor behind him.
Oh, nice.
His eyes like begin to blink, and then like tears begin to flow down him, and then finally he like takes himself and shakes, and then he looks up at you and touches your hand. Thank you. Thank you.
What was it like in there?
Hey,
It was terrible. I could see myself, but I couldn't stop myself. I was working for those monsters.
Are you
What's
the
your name,
mayor?
friend?
I am Mayor Tomas.
Okay. You told us.
well, welcome back.
Yeah.
And I say,
Yeah,
Mayor.
I'm assuming that's your wife. I point to.
Yes. Yes, that is.
Okay. She's still infected. These other
Yeah,
villagers.
pretty much. Yeah, everyone else that's here is infected still.
What were you going to say, Graham?
Mayor, I only have 2 more of those in me. If there's another healer among you or another paladin, I should do them first.
My wife is also the village healer. I don't know if she would be able to help out with whatever this is. We might need to. We will for sure have to go to the city.
Say it's worth a shot.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
lesser healing is a pretty common healer spell. So if she's got that, maybe she can help.
Perhaps.
Or lesser
I
restoration. Sorry.
I don't really know. She makes poultices and helps with the chickens.
She's a homeopath.
Yeah. She has a bunch of oils in the back room she'll sell you for a pretty penny.
And pink Himalayan salt crystals. So
In a land where real healing is an actual thing. Yeah.
I sit her down and I call the mayor over and have him hold her hand.
And he does that as you lay on hands on his wife.
Mhm.
And this same thing happens. The fungus begins to glow or grow darker, and then peels off the back of the neck, and then she just shakes herself out, and then tears of joy spring to her eyes, and she hugs her husband, and you can hear her and him beginning to sob.
I am curious about something.
All right,
Do we have a fire going?
sure.
Probably.
I imagine
Can I-
so. We cooked stuff.
Yeah. I want to grab the fire poker and scoop up some of the stuff that fell off and then put it near the heat.
Like how close near the heat?
Just gradually and then watch what it does.
Okay. You put it near the heat, and you get closer and closer, and it doesn't seem to do anything special or unique. And
I see.
What if you light a torch and get it close enough to the back of the neck so that it won't necessarily burn their hair, but get it close to one of the still infected people? Maybe? Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, something like that. If it's fungus, then I was hoping it didn't like the heat, but
you did it off the dead ones, right? The stuff you picked up off the floor.
yeah, but
Yeah. Okay.
where
I'll-
Jewel was going was the next.
What I will do is I
The
will
next
stick
step,
my
okay.
rapier in the fire and let the end of it heat up. And then I'll go up and touch the back of one of the still infected people, the fungus on their neck, and see if that does anything.
As you touch their neck, they immediately leap up, and begin running towards the door.
They're tied up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't get far.
Does it seem like they're in pain or?
Looking at their face, yeah, it looks like that really hurt.
I look at Graham like, do you think that will kill them if we do it this way?
I wasn't planning on stabbing them with a hot poker, but
I didn't stab them. I just like I heated up the blade and then I laid it like the flat end up against the backs of their neck.
That's how I took it too.
She branded them.
Right,
Yeah.
but on the fungus, I branded the fungus.
Right,
So you're fungus now.
Yeah. You can see where the blade like burned a small section of the fungus, but it didn't touch the people's necks. But yeah, they look pretty hurt. Like almost as if you had stabbed them with a hot poker.
I turn to the mayor and I say, I have one left. You pick.
He points to a villager.
Okay. Then I just do it.
Okay. So similar reactions to the other villager. He just starts tearing up in his face and thank you. Oh, thank you so much. It was the most terrible nightmare.
What did they have you all doing in there?
Well, I was in charge, one would say. I would direct the others to where they needed to go and what they needed to do. And we helped build this massive machine in there. We grabbed pulleys and rope and wood. Several of our other villagers, you may not have seen them. They didn't make it. After a couple of days, they gave out and they were replaced.
Do you remember how you got the stuff on your neck?
I do. Several weeks, maybe it was months. It was a long time ago. Father Amris came to the village. He was a traveling healer of sorts, and he offered us his services for free. We were very pleased to have him, and we allowed him to stay inside the village. Shortly thereafter, the hobgoblins came. They took over the sawmill. Father Amris said that he could speak to them and make peace with the hobgoblins, and we believed him. We believed him. We were very foolish, but who are we to know? He spoke out against us hiring the guilds, but I had to do it for our village. He went up to the hobgoblins, and then he came back and said that they would peaceably leave if only we sat down with them. So I went to sit down with them, and then Father Amris, we had dinner. I remember that, and then I was very sleepy, and I fell asleep. And when I woke up, I was in a nightmare. I remember coming back to the village, and I remember talking to the people, and I remember taking several villagers back, saying that they're leaving the hobgoblins. They're gone. No worries. And then I watched as Father Amris did something to them. Each one. I don't know exactly what, but he took like a salve almost and put it on their necks, and very shortly thereafter this fungus grew on them, and then they were like me. I could almost feel them in my nightmare. I could control them without actually controlling them, telling them what to do. I didn't need to speak. And I was a puppet. I was a puppet for Father Amris. Some of the villagers made a fight against the hobgoblins, and then the hobgoblins came on the town themselves. Other villagers ran off into the woods. They must have been the ones to raise up the money to contact the guild again.
Mm-hmm.
I am very grateful for the people that live here. They are a hardy folk.
The hobgoblins were under his control as well.
Most of
There
them.
wasn't.
Most of them. Some of them. The leaders.
There was a mutiny.
Yeah.
Their main leader is dead, and the hobgoblins now feel indebted to us. The rest of the party thought it'd be a good idea if they came back and helped you set up your sawmill again.
Several emotions pass across his face as you say that. Fear, revulsion, anger, perhaps. Also, respect. It's very strange. It's like he doesn't know exactly how to take that information. Here are these people that came in and took his city and his village, and then now he's going to have them come back and help rebuild. It's
Well, understand that these particular hobgoblins, without them, we would not have been able to take back the town and get up to the sawmill. And they did not want to be in your town at all. And so they fought against the other hobgoblins and defeated them, and then promptly left your city. So they said that they owed us a debt, and I said the debt should be to the village, and I put them to task at the sawmill to rebuild it, since that's probably your primary source of income.
yes, no, you're right. It's going to be hard to explain, but being trapped inside that nightmare, if they were forced to do the same thing, I can understand. I will explain to the villagers as best I can, but I
The
don't know
enemy
if they'll
of my
trust
enemy
me
and all that.
anymore after I led some of them to the sawmill. Maybe more difficult than you imagine.
Well, these ones aren't the bad guys,
Well,
and they're not all the same.
they're not the bad guys that mind controlled you. They're just generic bad guys, I guess. A different level of
And right
bad.
now, to you guys, they're going to be useful guys.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we're just hoping they can help rebuild the damage that they caused. So some of it.
yeah, give them a chance to make up for their crimes and do better.
I will do that. Yes. I will do that.
So here's what's happening now. You had a band of resistance outside the town that went to the river and said they were going to be back in a day or two. After we convinced them to leave so they didn't have to battle hobgoblin patrols. There was about, I think, 12 or so people stuck here in the tavern that after the mutiny we sent to the same direction to wait for the others. So you should have maybe 20 plus people coming back any day now.
I will be very excited to see my villagers return. I will definitely put them to good use restoring the damage done. I am very grateful for the guild and the protections that they provide. Thank you again.
You really need to look at formulating a guard out here.
Well, and they did you a favor by building a huge gate or fence all around your perimeter.
Yes, I suppose there is a silver lining in even the darkest of clouds.
What are you going to do with these other ones?
I suppose we will watch over them for now. I'll see if my wife can make a remedy, and if she cannot, then after the villagers return, we'll send some people to the town or the city and see if they can either bring a priest here or if we can take them there.
Right.
So out of character, if we stay one more day, there's only 3 left, right?
Two.
I thought there were
There's
2 left.
2. If we stay one more day, I can fix them, and that's faster than them going all the way to West Bank and back.
So you guys have decided to go ahead and hang out for one more day and heal these guys up?
Mhm.
And then head
It's
back to the village?
Yeah, it's the least we
Yep.
can do.
And while we're waiting for the day for his stuff to reset, we could pop up to Jacoby's house and see if anybody's come back. Maybe.
Okay, so we'll do second montage. So as the day progresses, you guys continue to help out inside the village. About an hour or two into helping out inside the village, Jacoby and the survivors approach actually right up the village lane. They meet up with you guys and you have a quick exchange of information at that point in time, letting them get them to download that there's going to be a bunch of hobgoblins that are going to be arriving to help rebuild the sawmill. Closer towards the mid-afternoon evening time of the day, the hobgoblins approach again. So you see that Agricool approaches the village, and she stands at quite a ways away from the village and has one of her outriders approach the village with a white flag.
I'll walk. I mean, we should walk out at least. I'll start walking towards them.
You get right up close, and the commander nods her head. I have heard that is custom for you to raise the white flag to show intentions of peace. Is that not so?
Sometimes, yeah.
So, we'll call it that, yeah.
So we are here to peacefully help out in rebuilding whatever needs to be done, as is
Okay.
the debt of honor we owe you.
I don't think that the villagers are quite ready to see a bunch of hobgoblins in the town. No offense. I'm sure you understand. If we could just get you to help with the sawmill, maybe cleaning that up and getting what we can fixed, right? I look at the group.
Yeah, rebuild the sawmill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Commander Agricool bows, and then we will do that. Yes, we will make our way around the village and up to the sawmill where we can work. If the villagers do not mind, they do not need to approach. We will rebuild as best we can.
All right. Sounds good to me.
It is, of course, not something that would be done in a hurry.
Yeah. Haste makes waste.
Correct. Perhaps you could let your city know that we will be doing such a thing, so that they
Yes.
do not send additional adventurers.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, should we have them check in with just the mayor, or what do you guys think?
I only halfway trust her intentions.
Same.
The don't send more adventures thing pinged my what button. Right. I mean, they're gonna send if they need help, so.
Right.
I think it's fine.
Let the mayor know. I will send one scout to provide communication between us, if that is all right with him.
Okay.
Will do.
The scout will only be armed with a dagger, as is custom.
Okay. All right. I'm okay with that, if you guys are okay with that.
Sounds good.
I hope next time we meet, it's over drinks and food and not in the battlefield.
I cannot hope the same. I do so enjoy the battlefield. And she nods to you. you see her gesture off to the side, and one of her hobgoblins approach and then bows and then stretches his arms out, and there's a small cloth covered package for you.
I'll grab it. For me, right?
It's just presented to the group, so whoever wants to grab it.
Oh,
I'll grab it. No.
Go for it. I'm giving her a high five.
Jesus.
For real this time.
You see a slightly frustrated look across her face, but then she gives you the high five.
Yes.
It's pretty powerful. She's got gauntleted hands on, and she hits like a Mack truck. So,
does she pivot?
oh yeah,
and
the
get
full swing, the full key and peel, moving at the waist, just like a karate chop to your hand there.
So my hand just explodes into mist.
It feels like it should have.
Do I roll for damage?
No. Oh, it just hurts like crazy.
Okay, I'll give her the thumbs up, but like I'm also like just turning my head so the tear doesn't show. Like that was good. That was a good time.
Inside the small cloth covered sack, there is a several necklaces, and they have a like a badge almost with steel fangs on a wooden background.
Oh, so they've given us like tokens of their gang.
Yes, it is a badge of honor.
So if we wear this in your territory, you people won't attack. Yeah.
No, not necessarily. Martial skill is a sign of honor to our clan. Wearing it may allow you to enter our places peacefully, but you may be challenged to individual duels.
Oh, okay. Well,
I did make someone's head explode with my mind, but you know.
Jewel always flexing.
At that, Agricole nods again and then bows, and then she gives a couple of real quick commands, and they begin to move off into the woods.
I assess the accessories score that I will get if I put it on with the outfit I'm currently wearing, and then I just tuck it into my pocket.
What? It doesn't match your boots?
I just shrug at Marin like
It doesn't match anything.
Close. Close.
And then I go back to the montage.
And then back to the montage. You guys grab your horses that had been stabled while you guys were here. Get a hearty farewell from the surviving villagers. A hug from Jacoby, who now has just a big ass smile on his face as he's extremely
I put the necklace on.
Excited and happy that you guys were able to help out the village and save all the people. And then you guys are hitting the road.
I greet Jacoby like in a real respectful way, and I clasp the arm up to the elbow kind of thing, like as if he did a bunch of stuff.
Yes, inflame that ego.
That'll go down in his thing is the biggest thing that happened to him in his life.
I would like to spend time spritzing pieces of paper with my perfume and then signing autographs for everybody that wants them. Anybody that wants them.
So the next 3 or 4 hours is spent signing autographs.
There can't be that many people. There's like 20 people in town.
A couple of hobgoblins show up asking for autographs. Like
I'll take one. Tuck that thing away.
Okay, so you guys wrap that up. It's about a little after like 3 or 4 o'clock, and it's a day's ride south now. So if you guys do hustle a little bit, you'll make it. No, you'll probably have to stop off at a small tavern on the way home.
Yeah, we could stop and check in at what was that, Crenshaw?
Crenshaw.
We can see what's going on there. So guys, what What have we learned today?
Hmm.
I'm not sure.
Wash the back of your neck with soap.
That's pretty good. I've learned that sometimes bears can't be trusted. That's a hard one for me.
Don't let old men rub lotion on your back.
I'm gonna take that right to heart.
Oh, that has to be the quote for the episode.
Oh no.
Yes, you guys head south after you're leaving Timatone, and you knowing that you will not make it back to West Bank in 1 day's travel, you do take a slight detour and you make your way back to Crenshaw. Noticing that the road is clear, the people are back out in their fields again. You arrive at the town of Crenshaw and are greeted by the tavern owner. Everything is still put to rights. There's no issues that happened. You guys spend your night there with free drinks being passed around. Is there anything special you guys want to do while you're here?
Nope. Just
Sleep.
just meditate.
was
Maybe flip through that diary again and try to figure some shit out.
I can't remember the bartender's name.
Neither can
Yeah,
I, which is
something-
why I was just like the bartender.
Something generic.
It was very generic because I hadn't written it down in the first place. And I was going to listen to that episode again in case we came back here. And then I was like, nah, they're not going to go back to Crenshaw. There's nothing here. So here we are.
I want to ask her what happened with all the brigands.
And she tells you that they all took off the next morning. They left and they were planning on heading directly to West Bank. That's what they were talking about. They're going to go and make their way to that Steel Wind Street and hang out with the in the new hideout and awaiting your arrival.
I say, Blue Brick Street is the Steelwind Paladin headquarters. They went straight into their basement.
We have got to find out how that played out.
So the night passes. And you guys enjoy your stay, happy that everything is right in the world. You begin heading back towards West Bank. You're about halfway there on the following day, and you can see as you're riding down the road that there's a bunch of ravens circling in the sky, and then there's several of them flying down a little off the main road.
Should we check that out?
The smell of carrion hits your nose before you get too close.
What do you think that's all about?
I don't know. I can go just check it out real fast. So I take my horse off the road and go check it out.
All right. So as you approach, a bunch of crows like take off and fly away, but off the side of the road there is several bodies, and they've only been here for about a day or so. Like they are being eaten by the crows, but are still recognizable to you, Marin, as the handful of bandits that agreed with Jewel and Graham. On one of them, you can see that there is a scrawled note pinned to a guy's chest with a dagger that says traitor on it.
Oh. Well, okay. Then I will take that news back to the party, and we should be on our way. Just brigands.
Oh. So it seems like they were split and had a disagreement.
Yeah, the people that wanted to go where we sent them were like murdered.
That means they're still out here somewhere.
Oh, we can just notify the authorities, right?
We are the authorities, kind of.
Are we? Are we, though?
We have connection.
Are we the authorities? Is someone trusting me with authority? Who's making that judgment call?
People who pay
Just an
enough.
angry badger. Oh, yeah. Well, authority for hire.
Yeah, that's too bad. They would have been better off in jail. Oh well, what can you do?
Keep going home.
And you guys turn southwards again and begin riding on the main road back towards West Bank. As you approach the city, you can see it on the horizon, the massive city of West Bank spread out in front of you. At this point in time, I'm going to take a quick detour and ask my good friend Jeremy to describe to me what you would see on your approach as you hit West Bank.
So West Bank itself is this huge tiered city with a big cathedral at the center. It sprawls out over a huge area with good 15, 20 foot high walls all the way around, and then farmlands kind of sprawling out around it. It has this massive port that is built up with the walls kind of surrounding it. And it has nice kind of the high fantasy towers peeking up around the city. And once you're actually in the city, it's lots of sprawling alleyways. It's very like bizarre feeling throughout like the lower tiers. And then as you go higher, the architecture gets more grand with these big covered halls and big covered meeting places and big cathedrals and tower-like buildings. Anyway, you can take it from here.
Gotcha. So it literally dominates the landscape and the viewpoint as you guys are heading south towards West Bank. And as you are approaching, you see the city of West Bank expanding in front of your eyes. These large towers and the central cathedral in front of you. You can see the large walls guarded by the city guard. And as you approach, the gates are open. There is a lot of traffic. You've been picking up more and more traffic the farther you've been heading south. Caravans of travelers covered in fruits and vegetables that are being brought into the city market. Several very large buggies that are self-driven as they make their way for the more expensive and lavish individuals inside the city itself. The streets are well paved and well maintained as you guys arrive. Now that you've arrived inside of West Bank, where do you wish to go?
I figure right to the guild hall.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, we can check in first. Yeah.
we're gonna check in and make sure that we let the guild master know what happened.
I'm curious what happened to Barnabas.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys go back to the guild hall, and you can see that the guild building itself is a beautiful from the outside. It's a fairly large building with the sign of the guild on the outside with the oh man, chest eater. What the fuck's
Mimic.
it called?
Oh,
Mimic.
mimic.
Mimic. Yeah. All right.
You're feeling it today.
It's been a stressful
Yeah.
week.
Oh man,
Stressful
No,
year.
this is just me and English. We have issues with each other sometimes, and like sometimes I'm great, and sometimes it's like I don't remember what the words are I was looking for. So, as you approach the guild hall, you see the sign of the mimic hanging over the outside of the building there, and clearly indicating that this is the guild of adventurers for West Bank. It's actually fairly busy around the guild hall today, and you can see that there's several people entering and exiting. One well-dressed individual with a sword hanging off his side sees you guys and nods, but he's clearly very busy and moving on to do whatever he's been assigned to do. And as you guys arrive, the guild is packed with people, and you can see that the bartender in the back is very busy trying to serve and keep up with drinks.
I'll
Okay.
take one of those.
He nods and swings one your way.
I'll just kind of nod and wave to people as I recognize them and like point like, hey, how's it going? Hey. But then make my way towards the stairs to go up to Spurrin's office.
So you guys arrive at Guildmaster Spurrin's door, and a gentle rap on it, and a minute goes by, and then you hear, come in.
Open the door and enter.
You open the door on the sparse room that is that of Guildmaster Spurns. He has 2 chairs inside of his office, but upon seeing that the rest of you arrive, he then just stands and nods and looks at all of you.
I'm going to make myself at home on one of those chairs with my Stein. Hey, man.
Hello. Stenel, is it?
Yeah.
Yes, the outfit, it does make it easier for me to remember you. The worst of you, please come in. Close the door.
Shut the door behind me.
Jewel. Welcome back. I hope that you have good news about your quest.
Sure. Yeah. Good news, bad news. All the news.
Oh, well, go ahead. Lay it on me.
Okay. So, I'm not sure if you heard from Barnabas yet. Yes, I wait for an answer.
Indeed I had. I was rather hoping to hear about the rest of your adventure first before I spoke about Barnabas.
Sure. So we seem to have cleared out the problem. We didn't do it. We were there when the sawmill burnt down, but we have arranged for free labor to get it fixed. The remaining the townsfolk that survived until we got there seem to be recovering from a pretty traumatic experience, but it looks like they'll rebuild. They just need maybe some counseling, and we stayed the second day to help cure the remaining people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll probably just need some like counseling and self-care, but that's about it. Does anybody else have anything to add to that? Look around.
Oh, there were hobgoblins, and then there were like mutiny hobgoblins, and then there was like this fungus and an old man with lotion, and then there was a bear, and then there was like a big hulking. That's about it.
Yeah. I'll point to Marin. I'll beckon to Marin and say, maybe we can show him the journal we found from the old man.
Yeah. Because it'll illustrate what we faced in the sawmill. So I hand over the journal.
Yeah, and when he opens it, I'll point out like it's clearly in Dwarven, but it seems to be complete gibberish. I'm thinking maybe he was writing in some kind of code or cipher.
So you see Spurn take it, and then he opens it up, and he just flips through a handful of pages, and he goes, yes, yes. No, I see. This is definitely completely gibberish. And he puts it back and then ties it together, and he actually slides it back to you guys. And like, well, spoils of the adventure, one would say.
Well, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Isn't Marin gonna build a mech?
Man, I wish I could read better.
What's that?
Is Marin gonna build a mech? Monk mech.
I don't know if I don't know if Marin has the technical skills to do that, but he does collect books. Interesting books.
Marin, what if you made made it to where it was like just the arm, and then it fit on your arm, and then you could like tack arm?
Well,
Yes, that's all well and good. I'm glad that your quest was successful and that the village is saved. I'm sure that you can turn in the successful quest down below and retrieve your reward. I am truly happy that the guild was able to serve the village nearby. But what I would like to talk about is how well you served the guild
Okay.
with Barnabas.
Insight check?
I do seem. What was that?
Insight check?
Insight
Is
check?
it like a happy
Yeah.
thing or a bad thing? Did we do a good thing or a bad
Yeah,
thing?
go ahead and roll an insight check. Sure.
Okay. I have no wisdom. I have negative wisdom, so that will be a plain 16.
Okay. No, he doesn't look happy.
Ah,
it was Graham's fault.
Immediately passing the buck.
No. I didn't actually say.
Way to throw me
that. I
under the
was
carriage.
okay.
Hey.
So
Yeah, so you do recall what I asked you to accomplish on that particular mission?
you asked us to help Barnabas
Mm-hmm.
get the traitor, dead or alive.
No, I don't think I asked that last bit. No, I did ask you to help him with his mission. That is true, and I did say it would be great if it was a successful mission. And I thought I was very clear on how much assistance you'd be able to help him out with. But the mission wasn't quite a success. Now, was it?
Wasn't it?
The body of Traitor Gregor was retrieved and brought back, but that wasn't really what the whole plan was it?
Wasn't it?
I expected better.
I thought that was the plan.
Yeah.
No, not really. No, not really. I expected better of the guild to portray itself to someone who is related to such a powerful individual as he is, and some of the stories that he has brought back and shared with the rest of his paladins are disturbing, to say the least.
Like
I believe
what?
he said that to kill them and then bring them back to res them is standard operating procedure.
I don't think we said standard operating procedure. I said that
We
shit
might have.
happens. So it's better to consider this a win if we got to. It's better than letting him get away.
They sent
Oh.
how should I say this? A special young kid solo on a mission to retrieve one man who's probably just as strong as him, if not stronger, that had an entourage of 30 plus people that had overtaken a town. So
Yeah, it's almost like they wanted him to lose.
So to ask that we take a single man back alive, and he was supposed to retrieve him solo when there was 30 plus other combatants, is ridiculous and asinine.
Yes, as well as I would agree with you that it is a ridiculous and asinine request, that wasn't really the guild's primary focus on this. No, our goal was to spread the good word about what we can do, and we failed to do such a thing with this particular boy's father.
Well, the town of Crenshaw certainly appreciates us.
Yeah.
In a week, we saved 2 villages, disbanded a band of hobgoblins and a band of bandits.
He starts waving you off as you're talking. Yes, I understand. You did all the great adventurous things that the guild is known for. But again, that wasn't actually what I was aiming for at this current time. I was rather hoping that we would be able to make some inroads into some very powerful donors.
I just start biting my tongue.
We could have Jewel put on like a benefit concert.
Thank you, Sentinel. I appreciate that for those comments. No, what I'm merely saying is that in the future, perhaps watch your words more carefully around people that can help the guild. Yes?
Oh, but he was such an ass.
Yes, okay, thank you so much. And
I just
dismissed.
grimace and nod.
I just blink at him blankly.
Dismissed. That's like, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
Yeah, it is.
Gee, I'm sorry we couldn't get you more money.
No, I mean,
God
I'm going
damn
to
it.
tell you, I don't have to be here. Like, this is something that I have chosen to do, and I don't appreciate this level of disrespect. If you expect a specific thing for us to do, you need to say that clearly. You can't expect that I'm going to pick up the underlying tone of what you're trying to say. I need you to bluntly tell me before you let me go into a place and make a total ass of myself. So if this is the way that you're going to treat us after the work that we've done, the tears that we've shed, the things that we've had to do to keep ourselves alive, then the whole guild can fuck off. And I am more than happy to get my lawyers involved in getting any of us out of this contract. Because believe me, my lawyers get a lot of money. And my agent would be more than happy to put me back on the road. So if this is the way that the guild is going to treat its middle-level people, then I'm out. Just give yourself the time to
Stenel spits out his
give
drink.
yourself some time to think about that, and then you can get back to me with an apology. I'm gonna leave.
Double spit take.
I'm gonna hurriedly slam the rest of my beer and then leave the stein on his desk and go out after her.
So you all exit the office and the door slams on the way out. I'm assuming, Stenel, last one out.
Yeah.
We're just a heavy close.
No, I linger. I
Sorry,
linger
guys.
for a second and I look at him to see what his reaction is.
Just a blank stare, and you can see the gears are churning inside of his head.
And then I grab Stenel's mug and I just slowly walk out.
Like, in all honesty, Jewel is a like pop hero and has like a huge image and a huge following and is very much a star. So yeah, that's all great. I love that.
Sorry, guys.
No,
I
that's
will
awesome.
get you out of your contracts if you need to.
Oh, I'm gonna be just the hype man behind Jewel, just like I can't believe. Oh my god, you told him
Right
one
outside his
thing and then
office door.
another.
No, I leave the
no.
guild. I leave the guild building completely. I just walk home angrily. Like, fuck that. I'm not going to be
Alright, so
chastised
you
like a
come
child.
Storming out of the guild, and off you go.
Isn't there money to collect?
There is, yes.
I can stop and collect that down in the tavern part.
That's
Maybe
fine.
I'll get the money for everybody.
Well, I assume they'd probably just hold it until you came in.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so Stenel went and collects the amount, and is there anything else you guys wish to do?
Is there a temple of Ione in this city? Like a library? I'm gonna go there, and since I'm a monk, I imagine that I have like room and board at like a monastery there.
Okay.
That's like the monk background.
So, is there anything else you guys wish to do, or can I cut to a couple of little narrative bits and pieces?
I'm good.
All right. So, Jewel, I'm assuming you stormed off and went home and was in a massive anger. The next morning, you receive a letter of apology signed by the Guildmaster Spurren.
Okay.
It is well drafted. And he does say that he didn't intend to overstep, and that wasn't the intention of the conversation. But at the same time, he is the guildmaster, so perhaps in the future we can meet to discuss how it is going to go forward.
Huh. All right. I ruminate on
But there is
what that even means. Like, this isn't even an apology. This is.
But at the end, it does say that he didn't intend to hurt any feelings or anything like that, and is sorry if that was the way that you perceived it, and that it will be. He will definitely focus on his language and behavior in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And then he invites you to dinner.
I don't go.
It'd be rude not to at this point.
No, I'm going to make him stew on pissing off somebody who also could help the guild a lot, because not only am I not drowning in money, but I have money, and I'm also like actively bringing in money. So maybe he needs to think about how he treats his assets. And he can have that thought about how much his humility is in guild dollars.
Oh, nice. Outside of that, you do hear that Barnabas's first mission was considered a success, and they are lauding it from his paladin circles, but there is rumors going around that it wasn't truly very successful, like he was supposed to bring back the guy alive and not dead, or some of his viewpoints that he's starting to talk about in the paladin circle runs contrary to their holy order. And so there's a little bit of rumors going on that he may not have succeeded as well as the current storyline that the paladins are saying.
Oh no, he got real world experience.
Perish the thought.
He saw what it's really like in the field.
Well, what it's really like is that we had somebody like tied up and ready to take in, and then you heard something and murdered him in cold blood. So that's like the rules.
Passed judgment based on the circumstances.
And that will conclude our time here for this story arc as we wrap up the end of the Timatone village. The villagers are safe. The town is rescued. The hobgoblins are rebuilding. But before we drop off completely, we see off in the forests north of Timatone an old man making his way through the undergrowth, pushing his way through. Sweat pouring down his face, his robes slightly in tatters. You can see soot stains on the outside of them. And he stops briefly, trying to catch his breath. And then he reaches into his sack and he pulls out a small mirror, it looks like. There's a crack running through the mirror. And he takes it and he looks around to make sure that he's at peace and by himself. And then he shatters it on the ground. The shattering sound from the mirror as it breaks against the rocks that are on the ground seem to pick up and get louder and louder and reverberate through the forest, almost as if more and more mirrors are shattering. And then pieces of the glass pick themselves up and float in front of him. And then they begin to slowly connect themselves in front of his face. And as they do, you see something through the mirror, something dark, moving, a wash of possibly tentacles, maybe something slithering in the background. The old man bows his head towards the mirror and then looks up and says, I did what you asked, but we were only partially successful. The machine was built and was tested, but it failed. Didn't quite do exactly what we wanted. We will have to make some adjustments. And from the mirror, you hear, "Show me." And then the old man's eyes roll back in his head and he begins to jerk before he falls to the forest floor. And that's where we'll end our adventure. Thank you all for joining us today. Remember, party on!
Party on!
Party on.
So before we end tonight's completely awesome adventures, and I hope you didn't pause or stop or nothing like that, we're going to do a real quick check around the room and see if anyone would like to talk about anything important that's going on in their lives currently. So we will jump to Talon first. Is there anything you'd like to talk about?
Not in particular, but I am going to be starting work on a new website. My old website is kind of down, defunct, expired sort of thing, so I'm not going to plug my website just yet, but I am going to start over, basically. And so if you're interested in seeing neat creature art and writings, then I will be sharing the link with you soon enough.
Yeah, why don't you, if you want to share your Twitter handle, and then once you get your website updated, you can just update on Twitter. People can follow you on Twitter. And
oh yeah, that's true. You can always follow me on Twitter. I'm at Angry Slinky. And yeah.
That's
I'll put it in
excellent.
the show notes.
All right, thank you, Talon. We're going to go ahead and jump over to nope, nothing from Justin. So yeah, he's waving me off. So don't worry, I'll cut this maybe.
Jerk.
We'll move over to Vanessa and Jeremy.
I just want to plug, I guess just the ACLU. I think that it's important to get some donations if you can't be out there helping or whatever. It might do some good. They have, they have bail funds set up too, so it helps with getting protesters and other people out of jail if they're just sitting there waiting for their trials. Like they're not even proven guilty yet. They're just sitting in jail, not able to get out because they don't have the money. I think that donating to bail funds is pretty important. If that's what we're doing.
That's an excellent idea.
Jeremy?
I just want to point everyone to check out our lovely website at totalpartyguild.com, where you can learn about us, the players, or the characters, or the world. You can check out our blog posts, and make sure to follow us on all of our social medias.
Yeah, we're at Total Party Guild on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. Well, YouTube, we don't have our own. You can just search for Total Party Guild and we'll show up. We don't have a custom URL yet because we don't have enough followers on there. But also Reddit, it's all Total Party Guild. One word.
Hey.
Yay.
And that will conclude our night. So thank you all very, very much for joining us, and continue to send in any questions, comments, interesting stuff to our website, which is on
TotalPartyGuild.com.
totalpartyguild.com.
Or email us at totalpartyguild@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Or email us at totalpartyguild@gmail.com.
Nice.
I think if you say that 3 times, it sticks. totalpartyguild@gmail.com. There's 3 times. It's either that or Beetlejuice. I can't remember which
then
one
the characters leap out of a mirror. I don't know.
And remember, a guild of many defeats more monsters. And
Party on.
party on!
Party on!
Party on.